kitty cat. Meow, meow, meow. Well, all right, here, Leah, let's see. All right, guys, bear with me. Good morning. I'm on the homestead again. I'm outside of my gardens. I was gonna do a live stream, but well, I am doing a live stream, I guess. But I was gonna do a rant, and I thought, well, let me show you the gardens because I'm gonna got some updates on the gardens. I've harvested some stuff and got some growth going on like crazy. But figured I'd share that with you. Show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to plant a bit of a fall crop of some things. I think I have time if I do it now. So we'll see, but I'll give you another little tour and update of things. All right, still very dry. Haven't gotten any rain out here. I don't think it's sprinkled more than twice on my land out here at all this year. Looking like it might rain, but they've been saying that for weeks now, and we haven't gotten any. So, but hey, I'll show you what I'm doing because I'm hanging on. At least I have a well. Most people out here don't even have running water. So let me give you a tour, guys. All right, let's see. All right, so we're back at my little, in case you haven't seen my other videos, got my little heart-shaped pond. It's just a little dugout I got that I burned the dirt up around for gardening. I used the dirt for my potato mound. And I keep it filled with the well water. I mean, if it does rain, it'll stay in there, but, you know, it is what it is, water storage. So anyway, this thing here, I'll show you this. This is one plant. It's hard to capture it in one video, but that sucker, that's one plant. So it's loving life there. I think everything out here could use a little more nitrogen. I mean, it's green, but it could be greener, I think, darker green. So I got to work on that next spring, but that's cool. I got plenty of composting material to use now. I mean, everything I harvest, all the plant material, I'm just going to chop up with some shears and just compost back into the dirt here with some straw. That'll all give me the nitrogen I need for next spring. Let's see here. I don't know if I can... This plant's just insane. See, I haven't confirmed what the hell that is yet. It's kind of looking like a pumpkin looking thing. I don't know. But, I don't know, man. Oh, I feel like I gotta sneeze. But, it's got a lot of flowers on it, so whatever the hell it is, it's gonna be producing. Here's another one over here. I'm assuming the same thing. It's not quite as big as that one. This one gets a little more, I'll tell you what, the shade, you know, ever since I built that structure there for the garden, that has provided some shade for this garden over here. And just the shade from that early morning sun makes a difference. This one gets baked a little more, so it's not, this one's about half the size. And it's definitely more crispy. So shade, man. So I'm even seeing it in the greenhouse. The side of the green, everything that gets that early morning sun, the sun out here is just absolutely scorching. And boy, if I can buy a few more hours in the morning without that direct sunlight, that'll help a lot. I'm definitely noticing things in shade are suddenly doing a lot better. Things out in the open are hanging on, but not as well, and it just taking more water too. But anyway, so that's going on. Of course, over here I just, you know, laid a whole bunch of straw down over here to use this area as a garden. Just need some rain, man. I just need some moisture. Without moisture, I just have sand and grass, dead grass. We need rain out here. Hopefully we get some this late summer here into fall. But, so anyway, because that'll be a nice garden patch for whatever. But I need rain. I can't be out here watering a bajillion acres of shit. I'll set up for that. But anyway, we'll come over here and, you know, so again, this structure I built really just to provide some hail protection, and a little bit of windscreen, just a little bit, and some shade from the sun. And as you can see, it does. It casts a nice filtered sunlight through here. And boy, my asparagus, if I could get in there and show you, that asparagus is 4 foot tall in there. The asparagus is shooting up like crazy in here, which is awesome. I'm going to have asparagus next year. I will be eating it. The corn over there, I did harvest some corn earlier from one of my gardens up by the greenhouse. Little small corn, but hey, it looks like corn. But over here, I mean, everything is just doing much better now that it's got some shade. Even that tomato plant is loving life. You know, tomatoes can stand the heat. They don't mind the heat like pepper plants. But boy, that direct sun, it's too much. It's too much, especially early in the morning. So that plant's doing well. Oh, I pulled most of the grass out of here. A little bit more I got to get, but just composting the grass I pulled. I think that came up in the straw. I think the straw I got was seeded, which is fine because I used it in other places. I'll take the grass. But anyway, so that's helping. So shade is helping. I got to add a little more shade to this garden here, although the potatoes certainly don't seem to mind. The potatoes grow well out here anyway. They can tolerate the heat as long as they stay watered, and they don't need as much water towards the end, especially, which is why planting the corn was a mistake. Because the corn definitely needs more water than the potatoes. So I'm just gonna kind of weed that corn out soon here. In fact, there's one I might pull over there. I'll go take a look. Isn't that right, kitty? All right, but yeah, the potatoes here are doing amazing. Curious to see what I got. I gotta cut back on the watering. The straw has helped considerably as far as the watering requirements here. I don't know if that corn is worth eating or not in there. I'll leave that one for now. I got enough pulled for now. But anyway, I'll show you what I got over here though. Let's see. Walk over here. Everything is so dry, so crispy. Hot tub's holding water. In case you haven't seen my other videos, I have an old hot tub here, a nice 6-person hot tub. But the plumbing all had leaks, so it wasn't holding water at all. It was leaking through every hot tub jet and hole in there. So I just got a free nice big tarp when I was out getting straw. And it's holding water. It's evaporating a little bit, but it's holding water. So yeah. So we got water. It's good to have water. And then pails of water, so I can, you know, if I ain't got time to run the well and water everything, I can just kind of scoop it out of here and toss it onto my gardens for now in a hurry if I need to give them a drink to get by. But so over here, so I've cleared out a lot of stuff here. I pulled the straw off. I don't think I need as much as I had. I'll show you what I got done. Nothing was doing well over here. The corn was not doing well. I harvested what I could, and I got some decent corn from some of it. But even the potatoes weren't doing well. So the onions are doing fine. But I left some of the potatoes. I'm going to leave the onions. See, some of the potatoes are doing okay. I just think they're getting overwatered now to some degree. Because that corn, but the onions are doing well. But can't overwater the potatoes, they'll just rot in the ground. So, but I'm going to leave some of the potatoes there. I cleared out a lot of this area here. I harvested my radishes. I'll show you what I got there. I'm just going to plant some more stuff that I think will do well this fall. Variety of things that I think I got time for. But so just kind of tilled the dirt up a little bit. And boy, I'll tell you this, I did all this by hand. There was nothing out here. Brought the pallets in, filled it all with dirt. And it's a mixture. I got some topsoil delivered by a dump truck load a couple years back. But it's a mixture of some topsoil, a lot of my sand out here, just wheelbarrow loads of the sand. And then wood chippings from the local Amish place that I was able to get for free as much as I wanted for the most part. And then, some straw when I could get it. Now I finally got a bundle of it, but and just mixed it up, and it just to create my own kind of organic soil, my compost soil. And you can compost, your grass cuttings, hell, even the weeds you pull can be composted. Just, you don't want anything going to seed and bringing it in here. But, so, and, I'll show you. That's some nice dirt in there. That's nice. I dug in there a bit, scooped it up. That's a whole lot better than sand, and the wood chippings are all but composted down. you know, because there were pretty good wood chippings. And I wouldn't recommend wood chippings in the garden for that. There are varieties of trees that aren't necessarily good to be putting in a garden bed. But this is going on year 3, I think. So it's had time to break down. And, you know, things are doing well. I've just got to, you know, just got to get the right mix of stuff in here. But I'm going to try again. But now I know I'm good on my dirt. It's holding moisture. I don't even need as much straw. In fact, it might even be overwatered right here. I mean, look at that black dirt, man. That's pretty. And that was just wood chippings and sand for the most part. So we're getting nice garden soil out here. As you can see, my plants are doing pretty good. They're happy. They're happy what I got here. But yeah, so I harvested the radishes. Those were ready to go. They've been ready. And of course they were overcrowded, what I discovered. I should have thinned them out earlier on. Well, let me show you something, man. This is I mean, it's a nice radish, man. Almost poo ball size radish, you know. Had a bunch of them. They were crowded. I got a pretty good bowl of radishes in there. If I had thinned them out, they all would have been a little bigger. Some of them kind of grew into each other, you know. They didn't have space. I found a little onion that got away from me over there. I'll take that in, some green onions here. And look at that. Some of the corn I harvested. I mean, it's not bad. It's, you know, I mean, it's a small ear, but it's ear of corn, and it's white corn. I don't remember if it's supposed to be white or not. I know I planted a couple varieties, some of the white and yellow corn. So, I mean, hey, man, not bad. I got a few ears of corn. I can make a nice little salad or dish out of that. Get off of there, you go, fly. But hell yeah, man. And that was just out of this little garden area right here that I had going on. You know, and I got more coming up over there. That corn's looking good. I'll take a walk around here. So anyway, I'm going to replant some stuff. Let's see what I got here. I'll show you what I got going on. I'm going to try some more radishes. I think they'll do good. Let's see, we got radishes. What I got? I'm going to do some more squash and zucchini. I think they'll be fine. I'm going to even try some more cucumbers. I don't know. It might be too late for the cucumbers. The watermelon, I'm going to try some more watermelon. I'm going to try some more peppers. And maybe some more lettuce and spinach here. Things that I think might get through till the frost. Hopefully won't come till at least mid-October, which, you know, should give me enough time to plant and harvest. Usually it's about 8 weeks or so, you know, a couple months. Yeah. So hell yeah, man. I stuck a clone out there. That sucker's looking pretty good. I gotta trim the bottom up a little bit, clean it up a little bit, but that thing's doing all right, man. On its own out here, better than I thought it would do. It's liking the shade. Again, the shade from that greenhouse. It's enjoying that shade in the morning. That's why it's doing so well. In the afternoon, it gets baked. You know, out here, the radishes did not mind it. So I'll plant more radishes here. Isn't that right? Yeah. Okay. And then I go ahead and throw the straw back down. This is all the radish. The plant from the radish. I don't remember if it's radish or beets you can eat the leaves from, but I'm not interested. I'm going to see if I got any seed in there. I probably have some seeds. I'm thinking that's what these are. Or seed pods or something. I don't know. So I'm going to see if I got any radish seed in there I can harvest. And then the rest I'm just going to chop up and mulch back into the garden and cover the seeds with that I plant. And again, well, this is no-till organic soil. It's all just about composting, layers of composting, you know what I mean? Everything you don't harvest and scrap can just be composted again. And just let it, like the natural forest floor, man, just let things lay where they lay and they'll rot into the ground and be nutrients again. So this corn is doing really well if it produces. That's some nice corn right there. Yeah, man. And this isn't doing like the other corn, you know. This shit was bolting like 2 foot tall. This is looking better. We'll see. But right now I'm doing all right. Some of the corn isn't doing so well, I think. I don't know. It could just be not getting enough water. I don't know. I'll have to see. Let's see. But anyway, some of it's not doing great. But again, it might be a little crowded too. But hey, take what I get. Anyway, let's go to the greenhouse here, guys. Show you my cannabis plants because they are doing amazing. Let's see. Y'all see that? I've thinned them out again. Pulling some leaves out of there again, some of the bigger leaves. That canopy is thick and lush. I'm gonna get under here. I'm gonna pull that grass right out of here. I think get a lot of that grass out of there. Just throw some layers of straw in there, and just give these plants all the nutrients they can get now. Yeah, they're looking good. I wouldn't mind a little more dark green in them. But boy, they're definitely getting nitrogen, and they're definitely consuming it all. So a little more nitrogen, but as I compost more of this grass down into there, and some more cuttings, keep composting, I mean, all that green grass will be nitrogen for next spring if I cut it and chop it up, pull it up, throw it there, and bury it with some more straw. Just keep creating a bed of layers of composted material, all organic. Then they'll get more nitrogen next year. I just fed them a little bit of some straight phosphorus and potassium, some granular fertilizer, very low dose of some pretty hefty shit, just to see if I can get them, because they're starting to go into flower. The hairs, yeah, starting to go into flower there. I did spray them pretty good with a peroxide and soap mixture. I've been doing that for a few weeks just because over in this corner, I'll show you, I had some spider mites over here. Not a terrible problem, but I was starting to notice them. And once you start noticing them, you got to get on them. So I just, for the last couple weeks, have been spraying every few days with hydrogen peroxide and soap. I went pretty hard the last time around. So I did burn some of the white hairs. I singed them a little bit, but that'll bounce back. Otherwise, the plants took it pretty well. I was hoping they would. But this plant is just, it's yellow. I'll get in here. Look at this. What's happening to the leaves on there? You see that? The twisting, curling, pinching of the leaves over here. I think, I mean, it's pretty widespread through here on this plant. This is where the spider, it might just be, I think this was an old seed I had. It might not have been the best genetics, and it's just not a healthy plant. I might even pull it out of here, but at the same time, if it keeps the pests over here and away from everything else, I might leave it for now. It's producing bud. It ain't over, but starting to go to flower, but it's just, it got wrecked. And it started jumping over to here, to this other plant, which they might be the same strain. I don't remember, which would explain some stuff. It might be a genetic issue, but I do know the spider mites were over here, and they do take advantage of your weaker plants. They don't tend to bother healthy plants. It's just, but I mean, they're still alive. But I'm not seeing anything. I think the sprays have been effective. I think the spider mite issue is resolved, and I keep seeing ladybugs, so they'll help. But it is what it is. But otherwise, it's looking clean now. Just one plant got a little bit of a beaten up. This one got a little bit hurt here, which is why I'm thinking it might be the spider mite issue. That was just putting some stress on the plants, because it started with this little plant here and spread to this bigger one right in this corner. But as you get away from there and into the rest of the canopy, that problem goes away. I mean, that's a thick canopy of plants. Yeah. And so the plants get healthier. So whatever, I think that was just spider mite stress that was affecting the plant growth over there. And I got on it and took care of it. So you got to, You know, one thing about farming, you gotta stay on it, man. It requires a lot of attention and really a lot of work. You can't just plant stuff and then necessarily harvest it later. It takes a lot of time, and you got to watch, because if you don't catch an issue and you let it get out of hand, it's over, man. You're chasing your tail at that point. It's best to see it and get on it, you know. But soap and peroxide, man, and I go pretty hard on mine. I'm not going to give you my recipe because I go pretty strong. But my plants are pretty healthy, and when you get them early on in veg, they can bounce back from damage. I don't want to be spraying my plants when they're flowering and in bud, when they get nice big buds. So get the problems done now. Get them done early. But look at that canopy over there. It's as tall as I am right now. Um, I mean, that's a several foot canopy, at least I'd say 3 foot right there. And the cool thing is, they're going into flower now. See, everything's starting to go into flower. You see the tips over there. They start developing. Oh, ladybug there. They start developing little cotton balls on the tops, and what'll happen is these little. Those are the bud sites. Every one of those little. Yeah. And so these will get fatter and fatter, and they'll get like cotton balls. They'll be like nice big fat white cotton balls, and then they'll just start bursting into buds. But the good thing is, I mean, they're growing like fucking crazy, guys. I'm getting growth like crazy now, crazy growth. I'm done tucking them in. Like, I'm done. I'm just gonna let them grow now through the netting, and they'll be supported. Because what you see right here is, I expect to get probably another at least 10, 12 inches of growth out of this. That's gonna be a good 7+ foot tall of buds. That is just going to be towering. Big coal is the plan. Every one of them. And I did thin the leaves out, like I said earlier. I got in there and thinned a lot of the bigger leaves out. There's more I need to do, but boy, it's a jungle in there. It's getting a little more tricky to get in there and pull some of the leaves. I did tuck them one more time under the net, just to keep them, kind of fill that canopy in again. And what'll happen is, I tuck this branch down, and now this here will grow up, and all of these here will grow up, and that one little branch will provide me a whole bunch of big buds that'll grow tall, as opposed to just one bud. Is the idea with this. It's a lot. It's a method a lot of people use. I'm using it because I'm in very. I use this scrogging, the net method. They call it scrog netting. I use that method because I'm trying to grow a large amount of weed in a limited space with a limited number of plants. So the idea is to just maximize the square footage. You want to just create a jungle, maximize that canopy, and get as much as you can in a small space. And as you can see, I mean, that's a pretty thick space of plants in a very, very small garden area, if you think about it. Like I said, this is one plant. This from here, where that ladybug is, to there, which is to the other corner over there, right there. It's at least a good 6 foot. I could probably lay down in there. That's one plant right there. Totally scrog netted. 3 foot or so wide. I mean, I can't even get the whole thing in the camera footage. Look at that. That's one plant. So, you can turn one plant into a dead leaf. One plant into a jungle. That's one plant right there. And then the other plant starts over there. The other plant's over there. But I got these, I mean, this is 3 plants. This is 1, 2, 3 plants, and then I got 3 on the other side. So this is 3 plants all that I just showed you on one side here. I have 6 plants in here. But we'll show you my marigolds are. Yeah, they're marigold. They're looking a little beat up. Look at the size of the trunk in there. If I can show you, man, that thing. That's a decent trunk right there. That's a good 3 inches in diameter down at the base. And then branched off. And holy moly bush. Yeah. But consistent, nice and green. Like I said, I wouldn't mind a little darker green. They're a little light, but it's been hot and dry too. And I know, you know, any kind of environmental stress will affect the way the plants take in nutrients. And in such a low humidity environment with so much heat, that could be preventing the plants from really taking in their nutrients at max capacity versus, you know, a much more humid, cooler environment might do. But you know, the whole you know, respiration through the leaves and everything and all that matters. But as you can see, man, they're looking good. No issues at all. I would like to thin them out a little more, and I will, but it's going to take some work getting up in there now without breaking the branches. I don't want to be doing that. But yeah, man, yeah, they're going into flower pretty good. I call this week 1. So some, you know, mid-October, hopefully the end of October, maybe even early November if I can get there with the greenhouse. But yeah, they're going in the bud. So they're all going into bud at about the same time. So that's good. Yeah, man, that's just nice. Remember, I had to pull this plant out. There was a male plant in there, but I have since filled that space out quite a bit. Again, this one plant I showed you here, it comes in over here too. I mean, that sucker's a monster. You know, if I were growing them outdoors in open space, I'd probably just let them grow up tall like trees. And I'd have those big, giant, massive bush trees people have. But this just works better in this kind of environment here for what I'm doing. As you can see, everything looks really happy. You know, walk around here. I'm going to do a little video, just an update, like I said, and then I'm going to get back to work doing my gardening here before it gets too hot. Tomato plant's doing tomatoes. I mean, it's tomatoing. This side of the greenhouse getting a lot more direct sun in the morning. So even the corn's not doing great. This row of corn, I'm probably just going to cut that down. The early morning sun just bakes it, because then over here things just get bigger and greener on the other side of the greenhouse, where it's shaded the first half of the day. I got some beans coming up here. I haven't eaten any beans yet, but we'll see if the corn does anything at all. I might do some corn again, but in very select areas and not as much, because it's just requires a lot of work. Takes up quite a bit of space. The peas are still growing, but they're about done. I'm probably going to pull those soon. Got some cucumbers here. They're looking a little yellow. They could use some more nitrogen, the cucumbers there. So note to self, this garden bed here could definitely use some more nitrogen next summer. Even that tomato plant's looking a little bit faded. I'm definitely more green over here than here. A little more yellow tint. But this, I forget what variety I planted here. But that's got some tomatoes. In fact, if you look in there, there's some tomatoes. Back in there, I can harvest. Get that netting out of my way there. Pull those. Oh, look at that. A bean as I speak. Look at that green bean. Holy smokes, guys. Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that sucker. Oh, there's another one. Green bean. My first green bean. Mosquito off there. Yeah, guys. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Well, wow. Well, I'll be damned. Okay. They just came out of nowhere. Oh, yeah. So, I'll be eating green beans now. All right. So, yeah, the peas, they can't take the heat so much. But the green beans, they do a little better. They're a little on the yellow side. So, more nitrogen in here, but might be why the corn's not doing better. Okay. Now I'm learning. This is a learning curve, guys. All right. That's a good bean. All right. Yeah. Oh, some more cherry tomatoes in there that I'm gonna be eating. It's I mean, look at that. That tomato plant. That's one tomato plant right there. Well, actually, that might actually be. I think that's one, and then I think over here, I think this might be one of those Roma tomatoes, or a bigger variety of tomato here, because those aren't cherries. Those are bigger than cherries. So I might actually stuck another seed in here. I think is what's happening there. That looks like a Roma tomato, but they're bigger tomatoes, beefsteak or whatever. Well, green tomatoes everywhere, like grapes, and then they're gonna be nice and red soon. So, but man, I got a bunch of little green tomatoes all in there. It's a jungle in here, guys. It's a jungle. Woo! You know, I got to keep working on it. Every year it's getting better. I mean, this is by far the best year I've had in here so far as that canopy goes. I'm checking out my cucumbers. Cukes, man. I don't think they're loving the heat. I just think oh, well, there's a little cucumber coming up right there. Little one. So we'll see if that grows. They're finally flowering. I just think the heat's too much for some of this stuff this year. You know, but anyway, guys. There it is. There's the Garden of Green in the middle of a desert during an extreme drought year. And I gotta say, man, it's doing all right. And this is several years of working on that soil, organic soil, composting and stuff. So takes time, but each year, like I said, each year's been better. So, all right, I'm gonna let you go, guys. I'll update this a little bit later this evening when I get settled in. Peace, God bless, and thank you for watching Bigfoot Off Grid. Again, if you enjoy the videos, like, share, drop a comment if you can. Let me know. Let me know if you have any ideas or suggestions. I think a lot of my videos are going to be farming and homestead related throughout the summer here. Although I will continue with my rants every now and then, just inside in the evening or in the morning when I got some stuff on my mind. So thank you guys. Y'all have a great day.